Let's jump right into a case that, well, it's baffled investigators and the public for nearly 3 decades now. The disappearance of Iowa news anchor Jody Hood.
Yeah, it's a really compelling one.
We've been digging through quite a collection of articles and reports, some going way back to 95, to try and pull out the core facts for you.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission in this deep dive is really just to quickly lay out the essentials, the key facts, the big unanswered questions, and maybe touch on some recent developments.
Right, so you get a clear picture of what happened, or rather what we know happened, and why it's still such a puzzle.
Exactly. And at the center, of course, is Jody Hood. Born in 1968, she was the morning anchor for Kim MT-TV in Mason City, Iowa.
And by all accounts, a really vibrant, well-loved person in the community. Public face.
Definitely. Which makes what happened on June 27, 1995 just so jarring.
The morning she vanished, she was due in for her early shift, like usual.
But she didn't check in at 4 a.m., so her producer, Amy Kunz, called her apartment.
And Jody answered. Said she'd overslept, was rushing, leaving immediately.
And that call, right around 4 a.m., that's it. The last time anyone verifiably spoke with her.
Which creates this incredibly tight, crucial window. She never made it to the station by 6 a.m.
Right, police were called around 7 a.m.
But here's the thing. Neighbors later reported hearing screams near her apartment, maybe between 4 and 4:30 a.m.
So the abduction likely happened literally minutes after she hung up that phone.
It seems very likely, yeah. And the scene outside her apartment, it speaks volumes.
Oh, absolutely. Her red Mazda Miata was there in the parking lot.
But all around it, definite signs of a violent struggle.
Yeah, personal items just scattered. Her car key, but bent. High heels, earrings, even a hairdryer.
And the big one, physically speaking, an unidentified partial palm print found on her car.
That palm print. It's still such a major point, isn't it? Found right away, but who left it?
Exactly. Was it the attacker? Was it Jody's? Someone else? And how well was it analyzed back then versus, now? Lots of questions there.
And there was also that mention of a white van, right? A neighbor saw one idling nearby around that time.
Yeah, but its connection is, well, it's unconfirmed. Just another piece that might mean something. Or nothing.
Okay, so moving beyond the physical scene, the focus often shifts to people Jody knew. John Van Cise comes up a lot.
A friend claimed to be the last person to see her alive the night before.
What's really striking, though, is the development in 2017, a warrant decades later.
Right. For GPS data from Van Cise's later vehicles, not from 95, interestingly, and subpoenas for his DNA, fingerprints, and his palm prints.
The palm print specifically, that jumps out, given the print on the car. Why ask for that 20 plus years later?
Makes you wonder, yeah. What prompted that? New tech, new information. We know some of that GPS warrant info was unsealed recently, March, April 2025.
But the county attorney said it did not lead to anything relevant. The GPS data itself was a dead end, apparently.
But crucially, the reason for the warrant, the affidavit explaining why they wanted all that info in 2017, that remained sealed.
To protect the investigation, even though Van Cise himself passed away in December 2024.
So what's in that sealed document? That's a huge, lingering question. What information is still considered so sensitive?
Another thread you see is the idea of stalking. Jody herself had reported being followed.
Yeah, back in October 94, she reported a white pickup truck following her.
And just the day before she disappeared, she told friends about getting nasty phone calls. Planned to change her number.
Which sounds like classic stalking behavior. But then you have other perspectives in the sources.
Like the retired police lieutenant.
Right, suggesting maybe it wasn't a stranger stalker, but someone she knew. He mentioned they didn't find traditional stalking signs like unwanted gifts or cards.
So conflicting ideas there based on what different people saw or believed.
It seems that way. Despite all this time, though, the case isn't forgotten. Groups like FindJody.com are incredibly active.
Keeping hope alive, generating tips, and there has been recent police activity.
That search in Minnesota, October 2024, based on a tip. They found animal bones, not related, but it shows they're still following leads.
And the unsealing of part of the Van Cise warrant, even with the GPS dead end, shows it's not a cold case file just sitting on a shelf.
Absolutely. Jody was declared legally dead in 2001, but the criminal investigation is definitely ongoing.
Which leaves us with these huge, painful questions still hanging in the air. Who did this to Jody?
What's the real story with that palm print? Did the white van mean anything?
What's hidden in that sealed Van Cise affidavit? Was she being stalked? By who?
And the biggest one, where is Jody?
It really underscores how important public memory is. Maybe someone out there knows something, some small detail.
Even after all these years, that detail could be the key.
So if you have any information, please reach out. The Mason City Police Department is 641-421-3636.
Or the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation, the DCI. Special Agent Ryan Herman is at reman@dps.state.ia.us or 515-725-6010. There's also dcinfo at dps.state.ia.us.
And findjody.com has anonymous ways to submit tips too.
You know, in a case like this persists for so long, the lack of answers.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Why do these enduring mysteries, these quests for resolution, like in Jody's case, resonate so deeply with all of us? Something to ponder.